Claressa Shields finally announces her fight after many delays. And let me tell you, it's not what you think. The fight stank. Let's get into it. Let's get unpacked.
Gold is back by popular demand. Hosting in 10 toes in quicksand.
I just peeped something. The quote's backed by popular demand. Pay attention, because later on, she tells Siri to play Drake, and then he's saying that whole popular demand in the song. So I just figured it out. I told you, I have figured this girl out. Claressa Shields, this was scripted, meaning you went live and you knew you were going to ask Siri to play the Drake song, because how is the video starting and you're already singing it? So that makes it look even cornier to me that you rehearsed it and then got on live. And this is a person that want to be a content creator. Look, she's already singing the song that she'll later play in this video. Wow. Wow, huh, Rissa?
Gold is back by popular demand. Hosting in 10 toes in quicksand. Come on. Bring that here. Flat out. Flat out. Bring that here. Oh. Not the big fight announcement August 15th.
When I tell you the fight and who she's fighting, you will soon realize it is not big at all.
At State Farm Arena, headlining, main event. Oh.
What's up with all the wigs? What's up with all the theatrics? What's up with the Shein outfit? What's up with the house? You claim you are super duper rich, but your house looks completely gutted. I've been to IKEA showrooms that had more furnishings and desks and beds and whatever else in the showroom. You claim, oh, I got $8 million. Y'all are broke. Y'all are broke. But look, you have regular carpet. My place, I got hardwood everywhere, right? You got a little cheap Walmart fan from Wally World in the back. Bare walls, not a single painting or piece of art or Basquiat or anything. It just looks like a model home. Like, it don't even look like somebody lives there. Like, what are we talking about? So that already, I don't even care what she's talking about. That is frustrating. That you have a boneless, skinless house, but you say you have so much money. I guarantee you Jay-Z and Beyonce crib don't look like that. Let's keep going.
Oh, okay. What's that you were saying? Huh? Who said what? Banned who? Banned who? Like I said, never was I ever banned from boxing. I'll see you all August 15th at State Farm Arena. 20,000 plus will be in attendance, honey.
20,000 plus to see you fight a fight that nobody wanted. We shall see.
Pre-sale, on sale right now. Yeah. Don't get quiet on me now, fake YouTubers with your fake news.
Who's getting quiet? The YouTubers are still here, still producing content. Now, this is the problem with Claressa Shields. She is a walking contradiction, right? 1 minute she'll get back from Aruba, she'll post a picture like, hey, leave me out of all drama, I'm about positivity. But then you watch her lives, everything is negative. Everything is ranting, cussing out commenters and fans in the comment section, going in on YouTubers. But everything you're doing, you want to be us. You want to be a YouTuber. You're producing content. You got more posts on your social media, on your Facebook than I do. And I'm a full-time 15 plus year online content creator, but you've posted more updates and posts and statuses on your Facebook than I have. So you want to be us, but you keep talking about us, right? Then if you pay attention to what she's really saying, it makes no sense, right?
Ban who?
Ban who to the fake YouTuber. Look at it. Look how look at this shot that I captured for you all. Look right there. This is unhinged, really loopy and weird behavior. What person do you know has seemingly positive news? They finally make good on the promise that they've been saying for months, announce their fight, and they look angry, and they're mad, and they're yelling, and they're screaming, and they're combative, and they're cantankerous. How embarrassing. But anyway, what does that mean, fake YouTubers? Like, at some point, if you're uploading to YouTube, you're doing it full time, producing real full-time income, how is that fake? Like, what is their fake? Like me, I can't speak for everyone, but I'm really a YouTuber. Like, I get paid from YouTube/Google every month on the 21st, and I produce YouTube videos and have a whole business around it. So how are you a fake YouTuber? Either you are a YouTuber or you're not. So she's not even making sense. And she looked like a watermelon Laffy Taffy, for the record.
Ban who? Like I said, never was I ever banned from boxing. I'll see you all August 15th at State Farm Arena. 20,000 plus will be in attendance, honey. Pre-sale, on sale right now. Yeah. Don't get quiet on me now, fake YouTubers with your fake news.
Again, Claressa is famous for saying that people are lying on her. They're spreading fake news. What was fake? You promised the announcement many times in the past. You actually attached specific dates. Oh, I'm going to announce my fight tomorrow, Wednesday, Tuesday, in a couple of days. And then we waited a month. So that's not a lie, sweetheart. Just because you want it to be a lie doesn't make it a lie. So you as fans, I'm going to present why I don't like her fight. We'll get to that. And then you can make up a judgment call using your own critical thinking. But you have to be cautious of a person who keeps saying that everybody's lying. Call them out. Be specific. Use examples. She'll never tell you the lie that was said. It's just a generic blanket statement. Everybody's lying. All the YouTubers are lying. When I make a Claressa video, it's very specific. And I'm showing you guys all receipts. Like, you guys can take the timestamps, the receipts, and then do your own independent research. You'll find it's not AI, it's not doctored, it's not a Photoshop. So while you're hating on the YouTubers, most of them that I'm seeing are showing receipts and they're thorough. You're saying everyone's lying on you with little to no proof ever. You never show receipts. So who's really fake?
Ban who? Petition who?
There literally is a petition on you. She's saying petition who? They literally have an active petition. So that's not a lie. People want to see your license revoked. That's the only thing people have said. We said as YouTubers, definitely myself, that MVP, Jake Paul and Nikisa, they banned you, which is, again, 100% the truth, whether you like it or not. Nobody ever, I have not seen one person state that Claressa was banned from the whole of boxing. The only thing I've ever seen is there's active petitions where people want you to have your license revoked, want you to have some kind of mental evaluation. They are having a cancel Claressa movement that they're working on, and that you've been banned from MVP. So you got to be very cautious dealing with people like Claressa Shields, because they'll convolute and confuse the truth and start arguing against points that nobody made. Nobody said these things. Show me one relevant creator that got 5,000 views per video or more on Claressa, right? And they said that she was banned from all of boxing. I'll be waiting.
Huh? Hey, Siri. Hold on. Hey, Siri.
Siri not even messing with her. You see, Siri just ignored her because she's just loud and acting a fool. Wow.
Play Drake, ran to Atlanta.
So, again, this is all scripted. You started the video singing that song, and then randomly, within 30 seconds of your live, you're begging Siri to play it. Wow. This is sad, man.
Come on. Quit playing with me. Quit playing with me. August 15th, baby, going for 2 more belts. A different weight class. Huh? You know what I'm saying? Atlanta, tell you about my run. You heard what I'm saying? Go ahead, Drake. Huh? What? Huh?
She cannot dance. So it's like all this is just cringe to me. You can't dance. You can't rap. You can't sing. What you do well is box. You went on live to play Drake in Future. Wow.
What? Huh? What? Walk back by popular demand. Okay. Huh?
Why does she keep saying huh like anybody's saying anything back? And then she keep flipping his hair that we all know is not her hair. This is really cringe, y'all.
Uh-huh. Okay. Huh? 10 toes on quicksand.
Boom. Once again, more proof that you scripted and mapped this out on quicksand. But I go back to the beginning of the video. Before you started playing this song, you were singing the same lyrics.
Gold is back by popular demand. Hoes standing 10 toes in quicksand.
Wow. How embarrassing that you try to make it like you improvised. At least that's what I get. And you planned this. So a content creator such as me, I get comments, I'm reacting to them in real time. Someone will say something, and then I'll play off of what they said because I'm intelligent, because I'm witty. So it's on the fly. I think that makes you funnier and definitely more organic and natural when you don't have to rehearse your live to that extent. Like, to me, it's very apparent she did that because you're singing the song. You're not even smart enough to mask it. You're singing the song before you told the song to come on later in the video. So I told you, I don't trust nothing about Claressa. So I firmly believe you rehearse this. So you're just fuming in your room, practicing what you're gonna say. How cringe.
Ass Pluto back in 21, you know what I'm saying? I don't put up half what's done is
What's done is done, you know what I'm saying?
2 cars in the back, 2 in the front, you know
Huh?
what I'm saying?
Yeah. Link in my bio. See y'all August 15th. Take it back, Drake. Ha! Talking about some where Pat at. Y'all be saying he upstairs. He'll be at the fight.
Why is she yelling though?
That's where he at. Upstairs. He'll be at the fight. Ha! Talking about some where Pat at. Y'all be saying he upstairs. He'll be at the fight. That's where he at. That's where he at. Pat gonna be upstairs and at the fight and ringside cheering for his boo like he always is. Hello?
To me, I think there's trouble in paradise. We'll find out in due time. She said like he always did. Past tense. Pay attention. She said he'll be at the fight. She's screaming. She's doing these lives seemingly unhinged. And she said he'll be at the fight cheering for his boo. But then she says, like he always did. If you guys aren't having any problems and you haven't broke up, you're not on a break or anything, why would you say like he always did? To me, I feel like that choice word is a bit weird. My personal opinion.
Ha! Talking about some where Pat at. Y'all be saying he upstairs. He'll be at the fight.
Yeah, because he's getting money from the situation, from Win Records, from you. So, yeah, what dude would not show up for a paycheck, right? I use this in my life. I had direct deposit, but I know people who don't trust banks and stuff like that when I worked a regular job, and they would have the day off, but because they didn't have direct deposit, they would show up on their day off to go to HR to collect a physical check. So why wouldn't Papoose do the same thing? Everybody's going to show up to get that paycheck. But when Papoose has been mentioning her, it sounds very, very business-like. It don't sound like boyfriend, girlfriend, star-crossed lovers, Romeo and Juliet, you're my rib. It's like, I told Claressa Shields this, or anytime Claressa Shields says she's going to beat a girl up, she does just that. She's the GWOAT. What man talks about his girl like that? Man, I can't wait for this fight. The GWOAT is back in the ring. The first female to headline. Fire emoji. That don't sound endearing. That don't sound like I wouldn't talk to my girl like that. Put it that way. So I don't know, but it sounds weird.
That's where he at.
And why you sound so angry?
That's where he at. Pat gonna be upstairs and at the fight and ringside cheering for his boo like he always is. Hello? What I'm saying, huh? Growth backed by high demand. Get your ticket.
First you said popular demand, now it's high demand. This seems so unnatural, it's like cringe.
Get this belt to What's up? Stop playing with me. Oh, she's banned from boxing. She's banned from...
Look at these faces. I mean, I don't even got to say that. Just look at her. Tell me she looked like perfectly happy and non-miserable. You had a fight announced, and this is the face you're making while you yell at the camera in your bare, boneless room with a Walmart fan and no home furnishings, looking like a model house, not in a good way. Man, the fall off be mean. Fall off be mean. And again, you keep arguing that you're not banned from boxing. Who said that? Put a name on it. Who said you were banned from everything boxing?
playing with me. Oh, she's banned from boxing. She's banned from... Ha! 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 Always lying. Now y'all blow...
Always lying. Look at her. Always lying. Who lied?
At the fight, in ringside, cheering for his boo, like he always is. Hello? What I'm saying, huh? Growth backed by high demand. Get your ticket. Mrs. Belt to... What's up? Stop playing with me. Oh, she's banned from boxing. She's banned from... Ha! 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 Always lying. Now y'all bloggers, y'all fake bloggers, tell the truth. I was never banned from boxing. I'll see you August 15th. Yeah. Push my... Oh, I kids custom. I know you're ready to make them...
Again, arguing for a point that no blogger that I ever seen said. They said MVP banned you. They said there are active petitions. All of this is true. She won't keep it real. Everybody else is lying in her view, but she won't tell you what they're lying about, and she won't keep it real.
Huh.
And like, what is the point of this live? Walking around your bare, boneless room with a wig on, yelling to announce your fight and talking about YouTubers. Man, it has to be bloody awful to be a GWOAT stan. Like, to be a diehard, hey, if that's your thing, cool. But in my opinion, if you're a diehard GWOAT fan in 2026, that got to be hard. Because every time you guys try to save her or make her look good, right, it always turns and devolves into this, where she acts and looks a fool, like straight donkey of the day status, right? Where she'll do or say something weird, and it's just like inexcusable and very insufferable behavior. And people are like, yo, what is wrong with you? Don't worry about the negative people. And then I believe she's lying. She continues to lie, right? Where 1 minute she'll say, I'm not focusing on anything negative. She literally has posts where she was like, I told my team, if there's a blogger or YouTuber talking bad about me, then I just block them because I don't even bother to watch them because I'm unbothered, right? I don't watch these bloggers because they're broke and they're desperate and they need me for clicks, and I don't care, they be lying. Then why do you keep talking about YouTubers? If you're so unbothered and you're not pressed and you don't watch us, then why are you talking about the same people that allegedly you don't watch? But then when you ask the actual YouTubers, mostly all of them that are popping are like, yeah, I criticized or I had this feedback for Claressa and I start getting burner messages from a burner account. So that's why I believe she's lying. Either you don't care and you don't watch and you're unbothered, or you're going to block people and then show up to their page with burner accounts like I believe she does to mine, and you're going to keep ranting about, you have other fans outside of YouTubers, right? That just want to see you do good. So why would you put any effort? If the bloggers are all lying, the YouTubers are all pathetic, broke liars that have no lives or whatever else you want to say about them, then why are you focused on them? All you got to do is ignore them and then they'll go away, right? Because everybody should believe in them. Everybody should hear what they say, hear outright lies, and be like, you know what? I'm not watching this because I can't watch no liar. But the reality is, I believe Claressa knows the bloggers, most of them, like myself, are actually very good. And they're not lying on you. And they are getting views and they are making money, you know, by talking about different things on their channel. And you're looking through the comments, which we know you to do, and you're not liking the feedback. So you're trying to control the narrative using your platform to try to sway your viewers that the YouTubers and bloggers are pure evil. But the YouTubers aren't acting unprofessional like you, cussing every 2 seconds, kicking kids out of toy drives, calling people FAT and body shaming them, calling everybody bald-headed and broke. What YouTuber is acting how you're acting? So yeah, to me, she's spiraling. And you would think she finally got this announcement, which I got a lot more to say about the selection of opponent. Stay tuned to the back half of the video. You would think that she would be good and be like, all right, I finally got that. Woo, I got that off the plate. Announced the fight. I'm happy now. I'm in training camp now. Do you see her working out? Do you see her hitting a heavy bag, a speed bag, running, lifting weights on a treadmill? No. You see her with a rusty Flint Rapunzel wig in a bare room as an 8 millionaire, let her tell it, with this lucrative Win Records Salida deal, yelling and screaming while announcing her fight. Straight pathetic, man.
Oh, another problem with these outfits.
Know what I'm saying?
I think it's how you're supposed to wear it like that.
You know what I'm saying?
Like that.
Actually, I'm telling you about my right. You know
But my shoulder's big.
My shoulder's big.
Like, again, I do what I want to do.
Oh, we know that.
What else?
Like, what is the point of this? Like, have you seen any other fighter announce their fight looking depressed, looking miserable, with a wig on, with a Shein $15 outfit or whatever, and yelling and screaming? Who rolled out their fight or a new movie they're going to be in, like Michael B. Jordan, Ryan Coogler getting on the internet and screaming and cussing out the haters because Sinners is coming out? Like, unbelievable stuff. Grow up.
I just went live to come on here, throw my hair, show off my outfit, announce.
I just went live. This shows you that Flint water is dangerous. The day you announced your fight, finally, after months of delay, you said, I came on here to show off and throw my hair and show off my outfit. This sounds like the mind of a locked-in fighter with a tough fight. I came on here to throw my hair around and dance to Drake in Future while yelling and saying, what, exactly? Ban who?
My shoulder's big.
I'm saying.
Again, I do what I want to do. What else? I just went live to come on here, throw my hair, show off my outfit, announce my fight, and tell y'all to go to the ticket link in my bio and get them tickets. There you go. There you go. Who banned from boxing? Haters. Quit lying so much.
What was that twirl about? Haters quit lying so much. Again, blanket statement, no specifics about anybody lying and what they lied about. Unbelievable. And she twirling around. I don't know who you think you are, man.
Lying.
Are you announcing the fight or mad at YouTubers? Like, you should pick a struggle. Pick this weak ass fight that you're announcing or rant on YouTubers. Why is this even the same video? Why not be like, hey, pre-sales on sale, my fight's this day in Atlanta? Like, why are the YouTubers are not bothering you? They're just doing their job, doing their reports. Nothing personal. Is always business. It's never nothing personal. Why are you this pressed? Liars, lying. You said we're insignificant. You're an elephant and we're ants. We're broke. We're miserable. We're needy. We suck. Channel's horrible. Not getting engagement. We don't know our target audience. You don't pay us no mind. We shouldn't even be talking to you because you have so much money. Then why are you focused on YouTubers? This got to be some type of sickness where I'm going to say one thing, but all of my actions are going to do another thing, right? I have never spent this much energy on anything that I don't like, right? Like, I don't care for Applebee's. I know too many other great food places for Applebee's to be a go-to, right? But I don't sit around ranting about Applebee's every day. Oh, Applebee's, y'all some liars. Cheap food, cheap drinks. The mozzarella sticks suck. Horrible waitresses, they ugly. Applebee's. You know the food don't be good. It don't be good. Ban who? You can't ban me from Applebee. Ban who? Like, imagine anybody else in any other context similar doing what she's doing. They're telling you they're a food critic and they hate Applebee's so much, but every day they're talking about Applebee's, calling Applebee's, you know, con artists, like she's saying to YouTubers, not telling you specifically what they hate about Applebee's, by the way. That's Claressa Shields. What a pointless video. You rehearsed it.
Gold is back by popular demand. Hosting in 10 toes. And
you really rehearsed that, and it was horrible. Wow. Mind you, she said she wants to start streaming. She hit up Dean the Great, Adrian Broner, saying, hey, tell me about your videographer. Tell me about your cameraman. How's this work? Oh, you got the backpack. How do you think you're going to succeed in my industry as an online content creator? You can't take criticism. You can't take mean comments or people critiquing you in the comments. Your streams, like literally the video, probably 14 minutes long, right? And you didn't talk about, ban who? Ban who? Man, I'm banned from. All you do is repeat yourself. This is bad, man. This is Britney Spears, Amanda Bynes, full level meltdown. And any Orlando Brown, any of them, put her in this category. You have to be built for it tough to be a celebrity and to be online and to be able to hack it. In my honest opinion, being a years-long content creator in the online space, she, in my personal opinion, does not have it. She does not have it because look at how she responds to any type of criticism.
With that music that Ricky got killed to on there, and I was so mad. I was so mad because it was like, yo, I work out. First of all, I work out so hard when I work out, and I've never, ever missed weight for a fight, ever. I fought at 5 different weight classes. The lowest I've been is 154 pounds, and I've never missed weight before. So when I hear, so when I saw that, I just was like, bro, that's just whack to me. It's like people see, like I post my training daily. I'm always at the gym, always on the treadmill, always working out. Sometimes
now, peep, she's complaining about some chicken wings. I've already talked about this. We're just recapping a little piece. Peep how she's acting like the victim, right? This is why I believe she's a narcissist. Peep that. She's like, oh man, I never miss weight. Y'all arguing me. Y'all picking on me for chicken wings. But as soon as someone leaves the comment she doesn't like, boom, she immediately snaps. You'll see.
I go live where I'm just working out. If either I'm on my Snapchat, I'm on Facebook, Instagram, like, I'm always at the gym. So for somebody to make a video,
like basically, woe is me, woe is me, woe is me. But watch, when she reads a comment she don't like, look at how she responds. Tell me if it's professional.
like, you know, she's eating chicken and isn't she getting ready for a fight? And, you know, putting that.
Mind you, this whole rant is about eating chicken at an Atlanta WNBA game. Like, you're carrying on explaining eating 6 chicken wings for the record because people posted the video and secretly filmed you. How embarrassing.
Out there like that shit out of my nerves.
Watch. Right here.
Nicole Brodnox, when I get off this live, yo big ass is getting blocked. Because what are you talking about? What happened with your hair? Clearly, bitch, I got my hair wrapped up. And clearly, I wiped the makeup off. Would you want me to keep it on for the rest of my life? You idiot. I just finished running 4 miles. Can your big ass even run 2? Can you run a mile? Can you run half a mile? Do not talk to me, big girl. Quit talking to me. Quit talking to me. I done deleted 4 of your comments, ho. When I get offline, you getting blocked. I already got to screenshot it. Your big ass getting blocked. I keep telling y'all, quit with me. I will blaze you the fuck down, girl. With your big ass. You need to be out here doing what the fuck I'm doing. Running. Dieting. Meal prepping. Maylin, I ain't telling you shit. Don't worry about when my damn fight is. Yo broke ass ain't coming. Your broke ass ain't coming. With your fake page. Talking about some win my fight. You ain't no fan of me. What the fuck you asking me that for? Don't ask me shit.
Boom. Mind you, this was one day before she announced her actual fight with Kaye Scott. Stay tuned to the end of the video. I'll break the fight down. Look at how she's talking to people. And I had to censor it heavily. Obviously, she's cussing when you hear any type of pauses or beeps, right? She's calling people broke. So, yeah, the people of Atlanta, let's see if they're broke. You said 20,000 people are going to be at your fight. I guess we'll have to wait and see. Because to me, the fight is undesirable. Your behavior is unprofessional. You're body shaming the other people. You're arguing with multiple people a day before you announce your fight on live, complete strangers, body shaming her, right? What if the person's in a wheelchair? What if they have diabetes or some kind of disorder, or they're on prednisone or some type of steroid pill that made them gain weight? You don't really know people's situation is the point I'm making. So for you to look at a picture this big, a profile pic, not like a comment, and completely flip out and lose it on the crowd in front of everybody while on live, the internet is forever. And then the next day, Win Records, Salida, Papoose, and Claressa want people to go out in droves and support this and support the girl, I guess. But again, you call people broke. Let's see. Let's see if they show up to your fight. But I think the quality of the fight is lacking, which I'll get into shortly. Your attitude is certainly underdeveloped. Literally, you said, don't worry about when my effing fight is. You too broke. You ain't going to be there. Look how she's talking to people. You know what I mean? No type of couth, no type of humanity or basic decency shown. And you were just in the middle of acting like you were a victim because someone was talking about you eating chicken wing. You don't understand how the internet works. That's why I believe, how can you be a content creator? That video I just showed you, you had less than 1,000 people in there, right? I have all the, she's like, oh, you YouTubers are lying on me. Am I? Or does it say 801? I ain't never had to lie on anybody, right? So if you can't hack it and professionally deal with comments for 1,000 people, how are you gonna deal with superstardom that some of these streamers are facing, like Kaye Scott, when they have 10,000 people plus, I Show Speed and all them? You can't even talk to 1,000 people without making yourself look bad, to the point where why would any Under Armour, Gatorade, Coca-Cola, a movie, big production company, Netflix, Hulu, Spotify, Wheaties box, right? Kellogg's. Why would anyone want to work with you on a professional note where you do these erratic, unhinged, no matter what type of, and you don't want to change because you keep doing it and no one's there to check you? Clearly, you don't have a PR person. And if you do, they're doing a terrible job because no one's controlling you. So what gives? Huh, Rissa? Completely bad look, man. This behavior is unacceptable. And then you're talking about, I don't need MVP. Maybe you do, because I believe that they have a team. And if you were acting like this with MVP, they would either probably drop you or at least like reason with you and, you know, get a PR person and a handler around you. Win Records, Salida, they're not saying nothing. They're just letting you crash out. We'll see. Now, as far as Clarissa's upcoming fight that finally got announced, she'll be fighting Kaye Scott. I know. Watch this. Now, this is the part of the story you got to keep up. If you get confused, then make sure you pause the video and rewind it. But this is where it gets a little bit chippy. So Claressa Shields absolutely announced her next opponent. She will be fighting Kaye Scott of Australia. This is why I believe Claressa Shields is cherry picking. Now, if you don't know what cherry picking is, in competition, to cherry pick means to selectively choose only the most desirable, beneficial, or convenient items from a larger group while ignoring the rest. So in boxing, when you're cherry picking, you're going for the easier opportunity, the easier fight, the style that you match up with well, as opposed to different, harder, more complex levels that could give you issues. Now, at the end of this video, you let me know if you believe she is cherry picking. You can leave me a comment and then put a cherry at the end of whatever your comment says if you think it's a cherry pick. Let's start right now. For starters, Kaye Scott, her amateur record is right here. 47-26. That means 47 wins and 26 losses. But pay attention right here in green. Out of all of those fights, 47 plus 26, right? So that means she has 73 fights. You see right here, about 73 fights, 234 rounds. 73 whole fights in the amateurs. Her KO percentage is 2.13, so 2%, like milk. So in 73 separate amateur fights, over 230 rounds, she has one knockout. She's only been knocked out one time, so that's cool. That means she pretty much has a chin, right? But in 73 fights, she was only able to knock out one girl, right? That's one issue. Now, some people will say, oh, but ego, she's a pro now and she's a champion now. Okay. So here's her record as a pro and a champion. 5 wins, 1 loss, 1 draw. So you only turned pro in 2023, 3 years ago, and the women's boxing talent pool in certain divisions is so skint that somebody who's a pro for 3 years and a record like this can be a unified champion. So that shows what they're working with. In boxing, in male divisions, you don't really see this unless it's like a Vasily Lomachenko, where he's within second, third fight, he's challenging for titles. This is abnormal in men's boxing for someone to only have 7 fights and be fighting for titles. You rarely see it. Even David Morrell, he had about 8, 9 fights or so before he fought David Benavidez. So a record of 5-1-1 in only having a 3-year career, you lost before and you already had a draw, right? And under the green where it says 5 wins, again, 0 knockouts. So your knockout percentage is literally 0, meaning in 7 fights, you have not TKO'd or knocked out anybody. And this is who y'all quote, a 2-time gold medalist, is fighting. Somebody with, you add her pro record, 7 fights, with 73 fights, 80 fights, she's only knocked out 1 person in 80 fights. So that shows to me, no matter what you feel the quality of the fighter, you don't really have much pop. If in 80 fights between your amateur and pro career, you can't knock anybody out, you wouldn't bust a grape in a fruit fight. So these are some of my issues. And I always say what separates me from other bloggers that are talking about Claressa Shields is I am a boxing channel. This is what I do. So I'm on her box rec and I'll give you guys some game. Olivia Curry, she fought in September and it was ruled in Michigan. It was ruled a majority decision draw, meaning nobody actually won. The vacant, we'll get to that word in a minute. Nobody won this fight. So it took for Kaye Scott to rematch the same girl in December, a couple months later, and she fought her and won a majority decision. So again, since some people aren't well versed with boxing, let's talk about these terms. A majority draw in boxing occurs when 2 of the 3 ringside judges for the fight have it a tie, while the 3rd judge scores it in favor of 1 fighter. So 2 of the 3 judges believe it's a draw. That overrules the 1 person that has a victor, right? Same thing with a majority decision. Kind of like a split decision. That means they're not all in agreement, right? 1 person has it for this fighter, 1 person has it for this fighter, and then the 3rd person is like the stalemate. So that's what those particular terms are. So again, when we're looking at Claressa's upcoming opponent, you fought in September against Olivia Curry, who, again, just like you, her record was 7-2-1. So we're talking about people with 10 fights, under 10 fights, right? She has 10, but Kaye Scott has under 10, right? So these aren't like these big Manny Pacquiao style resumes. And she can barely beat this person. Henceforth, the draw, a majority draw. So she had a rematcher a couple months later, and she still could barely beat her, right? Still could barely beat her. Henceforth, the majority draw. So while Claressa Shields is up here like about to fight her, and she was like, yeah, and she's a champion. She's a champion. Yeah, that's true. She is a champion, but look at, not all champions are made equally. You have people like Usyk and Naoya Inoue. You have champions that are David Benavidez, where they're these long-standing champions and well-respected. In women's boxing, particularly in this situation, you could be a champion with less than 10 fights and you struggle to beat a girl with 10 fights. And it took you 2 cracks at it to win a vacant belt, which leads me to my next point. Remember, I said not all champions are created equal. A vacant belt in boxing is a championship title that currently has no reigning title holder, meaning it's up for grabs. So to give you guys an example, if there is a person who's a champion and then they move up in weight, then that belt now becomes available because they're no longer, like Terrence Crawford. When he beat Errol Spence Jr. at welterweight, he had all the belts, but he didn't stay at welterweight. He moved up to 154 to fight Israel Madrimov, which left a vacancy with all 4 belts that he won by beating Errol Spence, right? Because he had 1 belt and then Errol had 3. So Crawford, in beating Errol, had all 4, right? So remember, I said not all belts and champions are made equal. This girl is a champion, true indeed. But look at this. She fought the rematch with the girl for the vacant WBC belt. Because when she fought her the first time, as I just mentioned months before, she couldn't beat her cleanly, and it ended in a majority decision draw. So nobody won the belt because nobody officially won. But either way, they were battling for a vacant. So you did not beat the champion to become the champion, right? Look, vacant IBF belt. That's another one of her fights. Let's keep going. Vacant Australian middleweight belt. Vacant Australian National Boxing Federation, Australian middleweight belt. So the point I'm making, if you actually know and you look beneath the surface, all of these fights, she's fighting for vacant titles. She's not beating up champions to then become a champion. She's fighting for belts that are just available, and there is no reigning champion, which definitely changes it. Like Terrence Crawford, I'll use him again. He beat a champion with 3 belts to become the undisputed champion. That is different as opposed to if all 4 belts were just available with no champion behind him, and then he just fought for a vacant belt. So Claressa's like, yeah, she a champion. Girl, she just became a champion in December of last year. So she's been a champion for what, 6 months or so? And it took her 2 tries to beat the girl, Olivia Curry, who doesn't even have many fights, doesn't really have a killer knockout ratio, doesn't have a lot of power, and doesn't even have, at the time she's fighting, she has like 9-10 fights or so, right? So to me, that is not impressive of an opponent, right? This is her resume, the girl that she fought for the title. So again, Claressa's trying to sell it like, yeah, she's a champion. I'm dropping down in weight, but you're fighting someone who's not a proven champion. You're not really proven, again, unless it's a rare occurrence where you're a Guillermo Rigondeaux or a Lomachenko, where you have very few fights and maybe you can get a title, something like that, right? This person has 7 fights and they're winning belts with a 0% knockout ratio, and they're not dethroning champions. It means more in boxing, for those that don't know, when you go into someone's backyard and take the belt. When you fight someone who's a champion, especially an undefeated champion, and you take their stuff, that's always going to be different. And to further drive the point home, I got an analogy for you. What is harder? If there's $100 blowing in the parking lot on the ground, nobody's claiming the money, and you just see $100 on the ground and you pick it up, now you're $100 richer. Or to get that $100, you got to fight and beat Debo and take the $100 from him, right? I think we all can agree that fighting Debo would be harder and a harder way to get that money, to get the $100. But when the belts are vacant, it's like it's up for grabs. Whoever grabs this $100 that's just like doing cartwheels, blowing around in the parking lot, nobody owns it. But if you beat somebody down, go in their wallet, and then take the money out of Debo's wallet, that's completely different. That's what it's like to dethrone a champion in boxing. My other major issue with this fight with Claressa Shields, Kaye Scott is 42 years old. And this is not to age shame anybody, but that in boxing is not necessarily young. And even though she doesn't have that many fights as a pro, she only has the 7 fights. She fought a lot of times in the amateurs, right? So that's a lot of wear and tear on your body at age 42. Now, a better option would have been CRIS CYBORG. Look, 5 1-1, 7 fights and no knockouts. Or CRIS CYBORG, she's been a long time name in combat sports. This is her boxing record. 6-0 with 5 knockouts. So she has an 83% knockout ratio. She's always maintained power, be it in MMA or now that she's crossed over to boxing, and she's actively calling out Claressa Shields. And guess what? They have a similar reach Kaye Scott's reach is 70 inches. CRIS CYBORG has a 71-inch reach, even though she's shorter. Now, here's the big thing. Kaye Scott is 42 years old, and CRIS CYBORG is 40, so 2 years younger. Now, this is going to really blow your mind. Pay attention. So, I've already illustrated and proven that CRIS CYBORG is 2 years younger at 40, and Kaye Scott is 2 years older. Boom. Claressa Shields has repeatedly called CRIS CYBORG, quote, old during their ongoing multi-year feud, urging her to retire and stick to MMA. Mind you, they've sparred in the past. So you have a bigger combat sports name in CRIS CYBORG who sparred with Claressa Shields, and this was the day they sparred, right? So she has a little bit of experience, gained more experience. She's calling you out and wants to fight you, says she has $2 million to fight you. You can see them next to each other. They're about the same size. CRIS CYBORG is always in shape, has a lot of power. And Claressa told her, basically, take a hike. Look, CRIS CYBORG look a little bit bigger, right? She basically told CRIS CYBORG, you're too old. Why should I fight you? Why should I fight you? You're too old. Wow. So you sparred her. You guys are no longer friends. You're similar size. She has a lot of power. Go type in CRIS CYBORG highlights, right? Keep in mind, I just mentioned CYBORG is 40. Kaye Scott is 42. This is why I believe it's a cherry pick, because they have similar amount of fights, 7 fights versus 6 fights. One clearly has a lot more power with an 83% knockout ratio as opposed to 0. CRIS CYBORG is shorter, but her arms are longer, and she's 2 years younger. And you had the nerve to call CRIS CYBORG old, right? She keeps calling you out. Look, it says right there, ouch, Claressa Shields' stock keeps falling. I got $2 million for her if she fights me at 154, right? 8-0 in boxing, blah, blah, blah. So, real talk, CRIS CYBORG has more knockouts than Claressa Shields. She only fought 6 times and knocked out 5 people, whereas the YALL, a 2-time gold medalist, fought 18 times and only knocked out 3 people. So, yeah, this don't really look good for Claressa Shields. How did you, Salida, Papoose, and Win Records end up choosing Kaye Scott? Oh, wait, because she's a champion. But again, I've already went over that. She's a champion in 7 fights, not really proven, no real power, right? Nothing on paper that really shows that she would beat you. Like, you're a good fighter. Claressa Shields is a very good fighter. We know that. But again, people want to see competitive competition and competitive fights. At least if Claressa is more skillful than a lot of her opponents, put her in with a CRIS CYBORG, because a person like that, they could get lucky and hurt her because they have power. A person like Kaye Scott has to box the perfect fight and can't get hurt and can't get overwhelmed because you don't have come from behind power with a 0% knockout ratio. So to get a knockout, like if you're losing all the rounds and it gets to the final round, there's nothing you could really do. You can't really do nothing if you don't have enough power, right? And most people, as the fight wears on, they get tired. So you lose power from that. Or if you get hit to the body plus being tired, you know, you're going to lose power. Furthermore, another reason why I think it's a cherry pick. She recently started fighting 10 rounders in 2024, right? So she has 3 fights that were 10 rounders. And that matters. I'll tell you why in a second. I told you I'm a real boxing channel. Before, she fought a 4-rounder, 6-rounder, 8-rounder, 8-rounder. So you're not really experienced. Now, why does this matter? Like in men's championship boxing, they're fighting 12 rounders. And it's a big difference when you jump from 4, 6, 8 rounders all the way up to a 12 rounder. But even for this, she fought the same girl in a 10 rounder and one more girl and lost in a 10 rounder versus Claressa Shields, a ton more experience with longer fights. Look, Claressa Shields, 10 rounder, 10 rounder, 10 rounder, 10 rounder, 10 rounder, all 10 rounders because she's fighting championship level fights, right? Until like 2017. So from pretty much 2017 and beyond, she's been fighting 10 rounders, right? So about 2018 to now. So experience matters in a sport like boxing. So nothing on paper shows me that this girl has any level of chance with Claressa Shields at all. Nothing. Inexperience, no power. You live in Atlanta, I believe, Claressa. So you'll have the hometown crowd. Atlanta, you know, there's a lot of black culture in Atlanta. She's from another region, Australia. So how many people are going to really travel from Australia to Atlanta? So this is why I believe it's a cherry pick. Claressa called CYBORG old only to fight somebody who is even older than Cris CYBORG. And literally, as I just went over, she has every advantage over Kaye Scott. Hometown crowd, experience with 10 rounders. I believe Claressa's style, she has more power. You know, her percentage ain't 0, even though she doesn't have that many knockouts, only 3. Right? So why couldn't you fight a person like Cris CYBORG? Especially when you did that recent video saying you like to street fight. Right? As you can see, the world is starting to crumble for Claressa Shields. In addition, this fight's at middleweight, 160 pounds. Claressa just fought at heavyweight, about 174 pounds in the women's division, 174, 175, right? And that means Claressa has to lose weight, but she's coming from higher divisions. So I also think that she'll have the advantage there because she's the better fighter on paper, 2-time gold medalist, and she's used to fighting bigger people from fighting at 175 pounds roughly at heavyweight. Now peep this. This is where things really start to get a bit loopy. Claressa Shields, as I mentioned, she's been fighting at heavyweight. Now she's finally going back down and having to lose weight, right? So when she fought FRANCHON CREWS-DEZURN, we know there was a melee at the weigh-in. CREWS-DEZURN in the rematch got injured, which probably impacted her performance. Whatever. I'll set that aside, but that's a side note. Again, Claressa said the YouTubers are lying. I cannot wait to read the comments, and y'all can tell me anything I said in this video that was an outright lie. I'm going one by one, line by line. So, Claressa's last fight, FRANCHON CREWS-DEZURN, right? Pay attention. Here's where it's going to start getting real sloppy, right? You fought FRANCHON CREWS-DEZURN at heavyweight, right? Let me show y'all. Look, 174, right? You fought her. However, so you guys know, FRANCHON CREWS-DEZURN is the reigning unified WBC WBA champion at super middleweight of 168 pounds. So this means that Claressa Shields in the rematch brought FRANCHON CREWS up in weight to a weight division she was comfortable at, where she didn't have to lose weight, right? Again, let's go through it. FRANCHON CREWS-DEZURN is a unified champion at super middleweight 168, right? You see it. Division 168. Pay attention to these numbers. Claressa Shields had been fighting at heavyweight of 174, 175 pounds, right? So you made a super middleweight move from 168 to 174 to fight you, where you had fought Lonnie Daniels, who knocked out Shadaysha Green, where you had fought Danielle Perkins, where you had fought Vanessa and invited Tony and Papoose to the fight. So you had from 2024 to when you fought Franchon Cruz, you had 2 years of pretty much experience and acclimation to the heavyweight division. And for the opportunity, Franchon Cruz did sign the contract and agree to move up to heavyweight. But the thing I want you guys to pay attention to, she made her move up in weight. Again, CREWS-DEZURN is a super middleweight champion, right? So fast forward to the future. Why is Claressa Shields dropping down to 160 pounds middleweight to fight an unknown Kaye Scott? So you're willing to lose weight to fight this girl with zero pop, zero power. But then you just fought Franchon Cruz, who fights at 168 super middleweight, and you made her move up to heavyweight so you would have the advantage. But now you're bypassing her weight class to meet this girl at 160 pounds. Make that make sense. Make that make sense. So if you were willing to lose weight, why didn't you lose weight for Franchon CREWS-DEZURN, come down to 168 and fight for her belts, which she's actually a great fighter and won her belts. You want to fight for this girl's belts 8 pounds lighter than what you did with Franchon Cruz, and I just went over it. You had a draw with the girl, fighting for vacant belts, etc. Franchon Cruz has been more proven and decorated than this girl. So you're making concessions for Kaye Scott that you would never make for Franchon CREWS-DEZURN, because you know Franchon CREWS-DEZURN is a real fighter, wanted the opportunity. Look, you see it said WBC belt, super middleweight. That wasn't a vacant belt, right? Look, these aren't vacant belts. You know Franchon Cruz is a real fighter, so you didn't want to give her any type of advantage, right? Even though she's 39, she's still a rugged fighter from B-More. This is why I think it's cherry picking. You're picking and choosing. Let me keep going. For their undisputed heavyweight rematch, Claressa Shields and Franchon CREWS-DEZURN had a contracted catch weight limit of 175 pounds. So at heavyweight, let me explain this to you. In women's professional boxing, the heavyweight division has a minimum limit of 175 pounds, meaning you have to weigh at least that to be considered a heavyweight. But read this in blue, with no maximum weight limit, right? Which means Claressa Shields put on a weight stipulation and made a heavyweight cap out to how much weight she could actually weigh. This is unbelievable stuff that a lot of people don't know. Look, heavyweight, 175 plus pounds. So all you have to do is weigh 175. You're considered a heavyweight in women's boxing. But you can weigh whatever you want and whatever you can function. Notice how men's boxing is the same way. Deontay Wilder, if he weighs 209 pounds and Tyson Fury is 260, Deontay Wilder has to fight a guy 50 pounds bigger than him almost, right? So not only did Claressa Shields bring her up from 168 to 175, she taxed her and then made it a catch weight in the heavyweight division, which there shouldn't have been a limit on how much she can weigh. So meaning if Franchon Cruz wanted to come in 205, she should have been able to, right? But Claressa put a weight stipulation so she couldn't weigh over 175. Otherwise, it would be defaulting and breaching the contract. Now, again, Franchon Cruz did agree to this, but I'm just showing you the games being played from Claressa Shields. Let's keep going. We ain't done enough. We ain't done enough. This is an interview from Yahoo Sports, right? Quote, this is Franchon CREWS-DEZURN. It's just taken a long time for us to get in the ring together again. It should have been sooner. They didn't want to risk her trajectory by going in again with me, which I understand. They basically wanted to age me out. This is Franchon, right? Peep this, though. She could have easily fought me, like I said, at 168 pounds, super middleweight, where I have been champion for years, but no, right? So again, she's been a years-long champion, and instead of moving down to 168, she made Franchon move up in weight to heavyweight, and then said, you can't gain more than 175 pounds to fight me. But peep this. I have all that I need to win this fight. I haven't eaten my way up to weight. I've tried to put on a bit of muscle to aid my power. But here's the thing. I'm contracted to weigh in, under 175. So I can't go crazy. Which is still perplexing to me, as I didn't know that the heavyweight division had a weight limit. But I guess I have to just be grateful for the opportunity. Think of fighters in the past like Sonya, who fought at 240 pounds. So once again, this is why Boxing Ego believes Claressa is a cherry picker. You stifled how, not only did you move her up in weight from 168 to a max of 175, you brought her to the heavyweight division where you should be able to come in comfortable. You have this girl named Sonya who fought at 240. If Franchon came in at 240 as a real heavyweight, you got to fight her at 240 and you have to weigh 175 plus. That's how it should work. But you're trying to gain an advantage on Franchon. And then in addition to that, you lied and said she headbutted you, and then she ended up getting injured in a scuffle. Not looking so good for Guo. And because Claressa Shields says all the YouTubers lie, this is Franchon CREWS-DEZURN on Twitter. Said, made you gain weight. A fan said that, right? Fan said, Claressa made you gain weight. That's what they're referring to. She is sad. Franchon responds, bruh, shaking my head. And how you put a weight clause on at heavyweight. Right? And what makes this now worse, that you did this to Franchon CREWS, brought her up to heavyweight, and then told her she can't weigh more than 175, is that we now know you're dropping 3 weight classes to fight Kaye Scott, who has no power, and you're going past the division where Franchon CREWS is a champion to seek this girl out. And now you're trying to sell us on the fight? So why can you make all these sacrifices for this girl that no one wanted to see you fight at middleweight, but you couldn't have fought Franchon CREWS at super middleweight for her belts if you're the GOAT? Wow. Make 160 for Kaye Scott, an unknown commodity that no one wanted to see you fight, whereas Franchon, you fought in the amateurs and you fought in your pro debut. I was there, right? So that's a better backstory, and it would have made more sense. Oh yeah, is this Claressa Shields? I hope you didn't spar Kaye Scott in the Olympic Training Center in Colorado Springs, because then that makes the fight even worse. Because to me, if you did, because you look sweaty and you got hand wraps on. Remember she said, I do my own hand wraps? So it looks like you two sparred, right? You're both in the Olympic Training Center. So for me, this also makes it more of a cherry pick. If you did in fact spar her, which I believe you did, right? You are going to fight her now. That means you at least have some, you've been in the ring with her. That means you have some idea of what she brings to the table. I could keep going. Another reason I think y'all GWOAT is cherry picking, I've already went over what you did to Franchon Cruz. You made it so she couldn't weigh more than 175 at heavyweight when there shouldn't have been a weight limit or a cap, right? But then when you fought this person, right, Danielle Perkins, with a 6-1-0 record, or 6-1 record, coming from light heavyweight, she's 6 foot tall. This person came in and weighed 177 pounds. Man, Rissa. Man. So let me get this straight. Franchon, who you knew from the amateurs, who you knew from the pros, fought multiple times in your careers, amateur or pro. You made her not be able to weigh more than 175, but then you fought a 6 foot tall Danielle Perkins and let her come in at 177 pounds plus when she fought you. You know why? Because the girl was inexperienced, unlike Franchon CREWS-DEZURN. So you didn't care that this particular girl was going to come in a little bit more comfortable at 177. But you made for sure that a shorter Franchon Cruz was stifled on that scale. Again, how are you going to fight this 6 foot chick and let her come in at any weight she chooses? But then with Franchon CREWS-DEZURN, you going to put a weight cap on it. And then now, as I said, you person that I believe you spar with, Kaye Scott, you're willing to go to 160, but you wouldn't go to 168 to fight for Franchon's belts. Man, I tell you. This is why I tell you, don't listen to what people say, watch the actions. Clarissa's saying, all these YouTubers are lying on me. I dare her, double dog dare her to pick through this video and specifically tell the fans on a live anything I said in this video that was not actually factual. Don't just say, oh, ego's lying, YouTubers are lying, because I've showed you the receipts. This is something she's not willing to do. So now she's like, back to getting up at 7 a.m. All my supporters, we sold 1,000 pre-sales. We'll see. We'll see how the fight does. But when she's out here trying to make it look like this is a big fight and a big announcement, and Boxing Ego is saying something different, I just showed you how to grill a quote. This is why I don't respect the fight. This is why I don't like the fight. I'm not going to say too much more about Kaye Scott. She didn't really do nothing wrong here. She just got chose. She's trying to get a check. So it is what it is. But for Claressa, this is just a bad look. You said you had a big fight. Then you try to stunt and flex and brag on people. And like, yeah, ban who? And I've already broken down why I'm not a fan of this particular fight. Nothing about it is intriguing. Right? You could have, if you're going to rematch Franchon, why not rematch Hannah Gabriel, who dropped you, who's been calling you out? If you're going to drop down to 160 to fight a girl with no power that you sparred with probably, right? Why not drop to 168 from heavyweight instead of making Franchon move to 175 and then making sure that she don't gain more weight? Because Franchon got some size and muscle that she could have came in there at 190 if she wanted, or 180, and then you would be at the weight deficit. So yeah, this is just not GWOAT-like stuff to me. You guys can let me know in the comment section, from the selection to who you pick to all the details. Again, this is why the people in boxing, they can't do nothing with me, because I show up, I back it up, and I really know boxing. I ain't no tea spiller. I ain't no gossip channel. I'm a boxing channel, and I just broke it down the boxing way. This is why I believe she picked a person like Kaye Scott as opposed to more dangerous options, better and bigger fights. At this point, you should have fought Face Shot Leah, right? Because I don't care who wins. The girl was calling you out. You said you would whoop the girl. You said you're a good street fighter and meet me in Atlanta and tag Zeus like you really wanted it with her, right? The girl at least has power. And it was a different style of competition. Instead of just regular boxing, you said you would meet in her arena, which is bare knuckle. And if I'm being real, it would have been more of a crossover freak show type of fight that would have garnered a lot of attention, because you seen she was talking spicy. You're up here with this Australian that you've already met before, likely sparred before, probably a nice girl, you know, out of Australia, 42-year-old woman. She's probably not going to build up the fight and push you or trash talk or have some compelling face-off that we believe. And even if she did want to talk spicy, she has 0% knockouts. So what is she going to say? Oh, I'm going to knock you out, mate. Yeah, down under. I'm going to knock you out like a kangaroo. Like, what is she going to really say that's believable? She looks like a nice lady. You know what I mean? And for Claressa to run around, Claressa the Gloat Shields, acting like she had this massive announcement that was going to shut everybody up and shut the game down, I'm not seeing it. Don't like the fight. I think it's a cherry pick. And at this point, this is not GWOAT-like stuff. You're 31, she's 42. You have a bit more power than her, a lot more experience than her, coming from a higher division. And again, why are you making concessions for her but not FRANCHON CREWS-DEZURN? You putting limitations on FRANCHON because you know what time it is. So these are cherry picking moves. Prove me wrong in the comment section. I spent all this time with y'all. I would love for someone to attempt to prove me wrong and correct anything that I said in this video, since Claressa said we all a bunch of liars. Again, this article says it all. Claressa Shields moves down from heavyweight for her next opponent, Kaye Scott. So the one opponent nobody asked for you to fight, you willing to lose all of this weight from the FRANCHON CREWS-DEZURN fight, but you weren't willing to do half of that to meet FRANCHON at super middleweight. Wow. So you want to go 14 pounds down for an unknown Kaye Scott that, again, you've already likely got to look at the Olympic Training Center.